Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Kel.
And this is Misfit.
And we are here with our Week 5 preview for Stage 2 of the 2019 season of the Overwatch League. So
we're about halfway done, guys.
Yeah,
doesn't seem real, does it?
It's close to being halfway through, but this is the final week for the stage playoffs. No power rankings this week, just because, like we mentioned it in the last video, but we just want to reiterate, like, it's just not worth it because there wasn't as many. There was what, 8 or 8 teams that played last week out of 20,
and a couple of teams don't matter at all because you're just shuffling the bottom of the deck.
Exactly, you're shuffling the bottom of the deck and like the middle of the deck and the
middle of the deck,
and not even like that much of the middle. Like there's a little bit, so like our rankings weren't really going to differ, and there's more to talk about than that because we're talking stage playoffs. These are the games that matter for making it into the stage playoffs. We still don't have any kind of tiebreaker scenarios.
Yep, I haven't seen anything yet today. I was looking.
We've been scouring. So if anybody sees anything, or hopefully they make some kind of announcement within the next couple of days as to what that is. But
yeah, they'll probably end up doing it like right after we post this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Right. As soon as we're done recording, they'll say something. And
we didn't in the last video. We didn't really talk too much about before we get to the math of the stage playoffs and whatnot, and hurt your brains for a little bit with that. London did pick up a familiar face to some of their teammates, and that's Quartermain.
Or Quatermain? Because
Quatermain? I don't know.
Quatermain? I got whatever. He is most recently a member of the Samsung Morning Stars Black, but he's been playing since 2016. He's a support. He does have some previous experience with some of these guys when he was on Cloud9 Kongdu, and he played with Bedosin and Birdring on that team. So he's got some familiarity with these guys, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how... I really haven't looked too much at, what Nuss has done in that. Maybe they just feel they need a backup.
Yeah, I'm feeling like this is more of a depth thing than anything else.
Yeah, because they did get rid of Closer.
Yeah.
Who was kind of their other support that they were flipping in and out occasionally last year.
And I'm guessing there's some kind of, like, in case they want to run a certain comp on a certain map, like it'll be circumstantial of when he's going to come in type of thing.
Right, and it's one of those things when... And it happens in football, too, or baseball. Like, guys will be like, hey, we really need a backup support. And like, hey, I know somebody.
Right.
What about, Quartermain?
Yeah.
Or exactly. Quatermain, or, we played with him. He's good. He'll fill in the gap for us, and we'll just keep going. You hear it more often than not in other sports, too, where you're like, hey, Boston just cut so-and-so.
We'll go pick him up or whatever. Yeah.
Like guard or like in basketball or, football, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's
fine.
It's a move. I don't think it affects them negatively. I think if it affects them at all, it's going to be positive. But I don't feel like it's going to be that much of a difference either way.
Yeah. I don't know how much he's played in the last couple of years. I don't know if he's in any kind of contenders or anything like that right now, or like how much he's played or whatever. But, he might be a little rusty anyway, even if they are looking to move him into the starting lineup. So, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we had that today, or this week. We just didn't talk about it yesterday.
On Saturday,
On Saturday, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really all that there was as far as news. Not really anything else big. Still... Watching like the workshop develop has been pretty fun over the past couple of days, and just seeing like the new little things that people are doing, and like how much more advanced it's getting as people are getting more hands-on time with it. And we're gonna get full on new games out of this. I'm feeling like
the more they mess with it, because I noticed a lot of guys are messing with third-person-y kind of stuff.
Seeing a lot of third-person. Which
playing Overwatch characters third-person is fucking weird, man.
Yeah,
I tried a couple I tried one of the Super Smash ones that was third person. I'm like looking at my HUD and I'm like, wait, I'm over there. What the fuck is going on? Why am I off the map?
Right. Yeah, that's really weird. I saw one that was like, they took Busan somehow and made it like a 2D side scroller. I thought that was really cool. Cause like a characters like Genji and Doomfist worked really, really well with that perspective. But yeah, just seeing kind of that kind of stuff.
I saw someone made a Bastion that shoots Torbjorns.
Yes.
What in the absolute fuck is that?
God.
Wow.
I love it. Just some of the crazy weird stuff is
and
great.
People have already done some things. Like someone has actually fixed Anna Paintball to where it's a full-on awesome game mode. And if you guys want some of that, I mean, I know you guys are here for a lot of the Overwatch League stuff, but Anna Paintball's fun.
Yeah.
But if you go on, I think it's Your Overwatch. They did a video with some of the stuff that people are doing. They have the codes on there too.
Yeah.
So
there's that. There's like one of the issues that they're running into is the codes aren't long enough, so people are already getting their codes deleted and made to be something else. So that's something that I think is going to probably develop over the next couple of weeks.
I mean, it's on the PTR right now, so it's not like,
So yeah, some of that stuff's definitely going to change, but it'll be interesting to see like what things are able to carry over and whatnot. Even then, I'm seeing some people putting together training modes already. That was the big thing that we saw, or that we saw as a potential thing, and like I'm so excited to see some of these other content creators that are making like those guides and stuff make like training modes and stuff. That's going to be awesome.
Some of the coaches like Jane are going to get their hands on stuff like that, and they're going to make training modes for their guys, and it's not necessarily situational. It's warm up stuff, and so you're not just doing, if you're a pro, you don't have to go into quick play,
right? There's training modes. There's warm up things. You've got
and just having fun.
Different ways. Like I saw one of the things that is relevant to the league is like somebody made a better scrim mode. Yeah. Where instead of like if each team gets a chance to do a full offense, each team like it ends after like a certain amount of time. Just like little things like that, so they don't have to keep like exiting, starting a new game, that kind of stuff. So
things that like you do in like a regular sport, like football, when you do scrimmages, you scrimmage another team. You don't do like a set of downs punt, like which is the essential thing. Right. Like with this, like in this league now. I mean, and it's what you have. So but you do all right. We're gonna do 20 minutes of offense, right, and then we're gonna flip the ball, and then 20 minutes of offense on the other way,
right. So I think that's going to help their practice time even more. So that's going to be cool to see. Yeah. And I think that'll end up making for a better product on the stage
field,
as well.
Yeah. On the field, so to speak, or whatever you want to call it.
But let's jump into some of these. Let's jump into some of these.
We're not talking about the bottom of the league, so we're not dumping into anything.
Exactly.
Houston is not involved in this conversation.
Yeah, we dumped on them enough this week.
Or
themselves, honestly.
Or Florida or Washington.
Yeah.
So we're dumpster fire free, more or less.
So let's talk about
the outliers first and just get them out of the way.
Yeah. So we have
believe it or not,
teams that still aren't technically eliminated from playoff contention, but in order for them to get there, it is some very unlikely scenarios.
The league literally has to stop working.
Yeah, pretty much. It is some crazy things that have to happen for them to get in. These teams are Toronto, Paris, and Atlanta.
Basically, if someone breathes, they're out.
Yeah, pretty much.
They need Thanos is what they need.
Right.
From the Infinity War. I haven't seen the new one yet. The snap. They need the snap. And everybody has to turn to dust except for them. That's the only way they're going to get in, really.
So for Toronto, they need to 4-0 their next two matches, of which they play Vancouver and Paris already right there.
They've lost on map one. Yeah. The way they've been playing the stage, probably.
Yeah. And then if Chengdu or Philly win a single map, then Toronto's eliminated. Again, before they even play a game, they might be out. Shanghai has to win one or two of their matches to eliminate them. Atlanta Reign has to 4-0, which...
That's the only probable scenario they have that's going to work in their favor.
Exactly. If Seoul takes a single map, they're eliminated. There's a lot going against Toronto. Yeah. Then moving on to Paris, they have to 4-0. They're playing Toronto, which, hey,
that could happen.
It could definitely happen. If one of Chengdu or Philly take a single map this week, Paris is eliminated.
Yeah. And Chengdu has the Valiant.
Yeah.
So, and Philadelphia has the Shock, and Philadelphia is more than capable of taking a map.
They're more than capable of taking a map, but with the way that the Shock are playing,
Yeah.
That really doesn't eliminate Paris so far. Then if Shanghai wins one, then Paris is eliminated. If Boston wins both of theirs, Paris is eliminated. If Seoul takes more than one map the whole week, then they're out. And then if Atlanta 4-0s, again, NYXL, which probably not going to happen. But if they both 4-0, then they tie, and they would play a tiebreaker. Or whatever the tiebreaker scenario happens to be when they finally let us know.
Yeah, exactly. And Atlanta's scenario is they have to beat the NYXL 3-1. Seoul wins a single map by any score, or single match, I should say, by any score. And Atlanta beats New York 3-1.
Atlanta's out.
They're done. Chengdu or Philadelphia take a single map. They're done. Shanghai wins at least 3 maps in week 5. That's collective against Washington and San Francisco. They're done. And if Boston wins both of their matches, they're also done.
Yeah.
Not much better than the other two teams, but there's more of a scenario.
Right. Yeah, so these are the teams that are pretty outlier. Because already we do have 5 teams that have their spots locked up. Not necessarily the seeding, but they are in the stage playoffs, and that's going to be the Gladiators, the Shock, the Titans, NYXL, and the London Spitfire.
Yeah, London snuck in last week.
Yeah.
They beat when they won.
When they won their 5th straight game, I think, and then they lost.
Yeah,
they lost their head scratcher. But I think they just didn't care because they had already locked it up, and they'd kind of moved on to focusing on the next
going.
part.
They beat Paris, and that was necessary for all the scenarios. I mean, they should have beat Chengdu too to keep them out.
Yeah,
but
sometimes
that's easier said than done.
Right,
especially if you don't give a fuck.
That gives Chengdu a shot to get in. So Chengdu's kind of in a weird spot. They're not nearly as unlikely to get in as Atlanta, Philly, and Boston.
Yeah,
but it's still.
They need some help.
Yeah.
And most of the help they can get is what they do for themselves this week, which is no small task either. I mean, they have the Variant, but...
I guess we kind of skipped over...
Oh, we skipped over Boston.
Atlanta, Philly, and Boston.
We talked about Atlanta, but...
We did talk about Atlanta, but yeah, there's... So
Philly and Boston get complicated.
Yeah, they have a better shot, but it's still pretty unlikely. So, basically... For Philly to get in, they need some major help from the Valiant, the Hangzhou, and Vancouver. Which, I mean, hey, that's... If those are the teams you're going to rely on, I guess it could be worse. But, there's some pretty... They have to take one map from the Shock.
Which is, not, like we just said, it might not be easy.
If Boston wins both of their games, then Philly's out, which, I mean, they have to play the Gladiators, so that's probably where they're going to have their issues. If Shanghai wins 4 maps total, Philly is out, which is very likely because Shanghai is playing the
Washington,
Justice, but they're also playing the Shock, so... They're
going to look to, if they want to get in the playoffs for the first time in, team history, they're going to have to bury Washington.
Yeah.
And not worry about San Francisco.
Yeah, but Shanghai does have a good shot of getting in because of that. If Chengdu or Seoul get a map, this is where it basically eliminates Philly. If Chengdu or Seoul take a map this week, then Philly's out.
Yeah.
Because Chengdu is playing the Valiant, Seoul is playing Vancouver and Hangzhou. I feel like Seoul is going to take at least one of those games.
I think so, too.
It would be highly unlikely to not take...
one.
At least a map in those.
Yeah.
Philly's they need a lot of help. And then Boston, they also need a lot of help.
It's kind of like the same thing, but there's a reverse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Some of it. Certain teams got to lose. They have to 2-0, of course. Chengdu and Seoul win a game, and Boston loses 2 maps total.
Yeah.
Like, they can't... they basically have to win all of their maps all weekend, is what it boils down to, and pray that some other teams lose a couple.
Right. Those 2 games that they lost are really going to come back to bite Boston.
Yeah.
But I think they're kind of okay with that, just because they had to integrate a new player.
Yeah, and it's going to work out in the long run.
Yeah.
You miss stage playoffs. It's not... It's fun for us and fun for the fans, and I'm sure it's fun for those guys, but they're looking... the big picture of the not the stage, but, you know, where are we going to be at the end of stage 4, not stage 2.
Exactly. And I think they still have a shot of sneaking into this, but I mean, they can also finish really strong this week. And
because remember, all you got to do is get to 12.
Yeah, exactly.
By the end of the year.
Right. And if you make it into that play-in tournament, anything can happen.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on to the teams that have a little bit, or probably have the best chance of getting in. There's 5 total. We got Chengdu, Hangzhou, Shanghai, Seoul, and Dallas. So all those teams going for it. These teams all have a pretty good shot, and most of their chances are really up to them.
Yeah.
And showing up and really playing well.
Yeah. Chengdu, of course, has the most complicated thing.
Yeah.
Much like their comps, it's a lot of what the fuck is going on here.
So basically their best shot is if they beat the Valiant. And they can beat the Valiant by any score.
Yeah.
And they're setting themselves up pretty well. But they still need some help here and there. Jesus Christ, like, it's so ridiculous how many things you gotta have.
Shanghai loses 4 maps total this week. Hangzhou loses 1 game. Philadelphia loses 1 game. The Hunters just beat the Valiant. The Hunters will qualify. Chengdu 3-2's the Valiant. Seoul beats the Spark by a larger than +1 map difference. And Shanghai loses less than 4 maps for the week. Chengdu is eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
it's a little
complicated with the Chengdu.
Yeah, like they're probably the least likely of these 5 teams to get in.
But if they take care of their business,
then it gives them a shot.
Yep.
That's really what it comes down to, is like if they come in, take care of business, then they're at a good spot.
And the biggest thing that really is coming to bite them in the ass was at the Dallas weekend getting 3-1 by Hangzhou.
Yeah.
They at least grabbed a map from them, which is proving to be vital. And Hangzhou has a horrible map differential right now.
Right.
I think they're the only team in the top maybe 10 that don't have a negative.
Literally, of any of these teams that have a shot of making it, they are the only team with a negative map differential, which is why they have to win against Seoul. Basically, Hangzhou is completely in their own hands. If they win, they're in. No one else can take them out.
Yeah, because they will be 5-2.
And they'll just have the trump card over everybody of having a better record than anybody else.
And they will have beaten Seoul.
Yes, and they'll have beaten Seoul as well.
Which knocks them down.
Yeah, and I think Seoul is out if they lose, pretty much.
But Seoul, the only thing... weird things happen. Dallas just has to win a map against the Mayhem.
Yeah.
Which... I think a team in Grandmaster could take a map from the Mayhem.
Yeah.
So they're okay there. So Dallas, we can consider Dallas in. I'm going on that notion.
There's it's like a 90% chance that Dallas makes it in.
The meat of it really is, for the stage playoffs, is Hangzhou, Seoul, and Shanghai.
Yeah.
They're the ones that don't have as much of a convoluted, if this team does this and that. The thing is if Shanghai and Seoul win, Hangzhou's out because of their map differential. Just plain and simple.
Yep. And then Seoul would eliminate Hangzhou pretty much by
default.
Them. Yeah. That's really the big thing, is like that last match between Seoul and Hangzhou is going to be a big one.
And that even is, with all of the other wacky scenarios going through, it still comes down to those two.
Yeah.
Barring something weird like Dallas losing, which I don't think is remotely close to happening.
Yeah.
Even then, they still can lose and take a map.
Yeah.
Basically, the Mayhem would have to 4-0 them.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, they probably will have a home weekend hangover kind of scenario.
But I don't think
it's going to be that bad.
Yeah, no way. Because they can win by any score against the Mayhem, and that's all they got to do.
And if they do happen to lose, Chengdu and Philadelphia have to lose, and Seoul has to lose.
Seoul only has to lose 1 game, which is very likely because they got to play Vancouver.
Right.
There's really, Dallas is pretty much in. It's really going to be between Hangzhou, Shanghai, and Seoul, and that's going to be interesting. That really makes for some interesting scenarios. I'm pulling for Shanghai. I really think they've got a good shot.
And I want to see them there. And really the only other cut and dry one is Hangzhou.
Yeah.
They just have to beat Seoul.
Yeah, because Shanghai's is still kind of complicated.
Yeah.
Because if Philly, Chengdu, and Seoul win all of their games, and Shanghai fails to get at least 4 map wins, then they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so theirs is actually kind of more complicated, but they still have a good chance. Really, to put themselves in the best position, they got to take care of business.
Yeah.
And they're playing Washington. That should be really the game that kind of clinches it for them if they're going to get in.
Yeah, then they have to bury them.
Yeah.
Because they're playing San Francisco, and San Francisco's not going to take the week off.
No, because they're still riding their map win streak, and they want to build that up to be as big as it can be.
And those boys don't give a fuck either.
Oh, they really don't.
And it's one of those things people are like, well,
they'll show you everything they got, and they'll still be like, okay, beat us.
Yeah.
Like,
and that goes for Vancouver, too.
Yep.
We're not letting off the throttle. And they're not doing anything different.
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody thinks that they're hiding shit.
No.
What fucking strategy are they doing? They're running Winston goats on a map?
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's a shocker.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
None of these teams are hiding anything.
No, even Chengdu to an extent.
Yeah.
You know they're going to run ball with Far Mercy and whatever else.
Right.
And the other teams are going to do variations of goats. It's not... Yeah, you're going to have a trick up your sleeve here. You just don't do anything tricky.
Right.
But if you have to get in,
exactly.
Do what you got to do to get in.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's talk about a couple of the matches that are really going to be key to this whole weekend.
We said, obviously the last match of the weekend is going to be crucial. But there's a couple of matches. I do that all the time.
So Hangzhou Seoul to finish off the weekend is really, it'll probably end up being the match of the week, honestly, because man, is it going to be, there's a lot on the line. Well, it'll kind of be probably a regroup for Seoul, but honestly, they have to play Vancouver. So before that, so that's kind of that could either be really, they could be coming off a really good feeling of hey, we pushed them, or hey, we beat them. Because, no one was expecting Seoul to beat New York in the stage playoffs last stage. So, this is very much a trap game for Vancouver. Yeah. If there is any. Yeah, it really is.
It is a trap game for Vancouver in a way. But they're not one to
really let their guard down.
Yeah, they want to mash people. Yeah. And Seoul is one of those teams I think they want to mash because, well, they're Seoul. Yeah. And, all the previous incarnations of what they were and all that stuff, it does matter. Right. And I don't think they're going to let up. But the big match on Friday is going to be Guangzhou and Houston. That has a lot of implications. Yeah, right? Yeah. Which green fire, dumpster fire burns brighter?
Which, can we call this the Battle of the Blackwater, but nobody wins?
Yeah, exactly.
Burn green.
Yeah. Green fire. That did not work this weekend. No. They were like the Dothraki running into the Army of the Dead. Spoilers. With their green... Oh, yeah, spoiler alert.
If you haven't watched it by now, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's fucking Thursday. Don't hate me. Yeah. And I didn't give away anything anyway. So.
Yeah, right. All right, so... Friday, really the only match that I see kind of intriguing is Boston Gladiators could be fun.
It means nothing, but it really...
It kind of does, because if Boston's going to have any shot, they have to basically 4-0 the Gladiators. But it could still be... It's still going to be a good matchup, I feel like.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good test for the Gladiators. Yeah. Going into any kind of playoff scenario.
Because, Boston's going to bring everything they can in this game.
The more telling matches that we're going to have are going to be, looks like Sunday, really. And that's just, honestly, the last game of the day. The rest of them are kind of meh.
Yeah, really, you're going to be watching, for Shanghai to see what they do against Washington on Saturday.
That's the midnight game, so you'll probably look at that in the morning.
Right. Or, I guess that's Friday night, and then, I guess, Saturday...
It's the way the East Coast schedule works, guys. It just... Right? I'm sure some of you know that. You look at the schedule, and it's... Why are there only 3 games on Friday? And 5 games... No, it's not. It's just actual, literal clock.
Yeah. But Saturday, there's the rematch between Atlanta and New York.
That's going to be fun.
That could be interesting.
And then we do have the...
we have Seoul, Vancouver.
Yeah. Which
Which actually, I think the Chengdu LA Valiant game could actually be pretty fun too.
Yeah, that could be interesting to see where the Valiant are and see, because they've looked decent.
And this game means a lot for Chengdu as far as their stage and kind of taking that next step, because if they want to have any shot of getting in, they have to win this game. Even if they win, there's no guarantee that they're going to, but I think that's a good indicator of where they are as a team. When they have to win, can they?
And they have to win, and also it keeps them in the macro sense, it keeps them in that playoff picture
right
at the end. You can't, like we said in the last episode, you have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat.
Yes, exactly.
This is a team that Chengdu is supposed to beat.
Yep.
And they have to do it. And that goes even with teams like with Shanghai earlier in the day. They should beat Washington, and they have to beat them. And
you better believe that LA is going to give them everything they got, because they're trying to salvage anything for this season, so they need a win
and a positive end to the stage.
Yes,
this would do it to beat the Hunters, which are kind of a mid-level team that everybody loves, and they're not the easiest team to beat. I think something like that can bring you a positive outlook.
Oh, absolutely, and you can kind of ride that momentum into the next stage, into the All-Star break and into stage 3.
Yeah.
All right, and then on Sunday, there's
Toronto Paris could be interesting.
Yeah, that could be interesting depending on how everything else falls. There could be some kind of implications playoff wise. These are two out there teams, but if either of them are going to have a shot, one of them's going to have to beat the other pretty soundly.
Yeah, and also once again in the grand scheme, Toronto's got the unfortunate, the disadvantage of playing Vancouver earlier in the week, but down the line, Toronto had that great last stage where they went 5-2.
Right.
Now they're sitting at 1-4. In order to stay at 500, they're going to have to beat Paris.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're beating Vancouver.
No.
You got to be insane. And
then there's just no way.
And then we have Shanghai. The last two matches are going to mean something.
Yes.
Shanghai and San Francisco, depending on if Shanghai 4-0s or not, or all those scenarios that we talked about.
Even if they do. If they can take a map from San Francisco, then that gives them an even better shot of getting in. So that is going to be give them some implication, or give them a shot, and then just playing against San Francisco in general. This could also be San Francisco going for an insane streak,
28 maps in a row. That's if they 4-0 Philly. Which, that's going to be a task.
That will be a task.
Philly doesn't give up.
Yeah.
But San Francisco's on that roll. They 4-0'd better teams. Well, maybe not. But teams they 4-0 teams on their level. How's that?
Yeah.
But if they get to a scenario where they're at 20, what would it be? Are they at 20 or they're beyond that now?
I think they're beyond that.
They're at 24 now, right?
I think so.
No? Well, they're 5-0.
They didn't play last week.
They're 5-0.
Yeah.
So they're 20.
Yeah.
So they would be, to get to 28-0, they would have to beat Philly 4-0 and then, to have the perfect stage.
Yeah.
Literally the perfect stage.
Yeah. Which would be absolutely insane.
And those dudes will go for that.
Oh, they 100% will.
And I don't think they care what you see.
Yeah.
Regardless of what their coaches even tell them.
Yeah. I think they're going to pull out everything they can.
Especially if they 4-0 Philly earlier in the week. Shanghai might want to put their pants on.
Yeah.
Or get some protection.
Yeah, the best hope for Shanghai is for Philly to take a map or two.
Yeah.
Honestly, because then they can. San Francisco will probably let up a little bit.
Yeah.
They're not going to hold up. There's very little shot that Shanghai has to win this game.
Yeah.
No matter what. But if San Francisco coming in still with their streak intact, oh boy, watch out.
Yeah, and I'm going to want to watch. You're going to want to watch that.
I'm totally watching this.
This is a perfect scenario for Shanghai.
Yeah.
They ended their streak of bad earlier in the season. Now they can stop somebody's insane good streak and just show how good of a team they are.
Right. That would be insane.
Yeah, it's a tall task.
Yeah.
But
it would be pretty awesome if they could pull that off. And then, obviously, the last game of the match, or last game of the day, Seoul, Hangzhou. We'll probably only watch about 40 minutes of it, if that.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, episode 4 would be
other more important things happen. But this is still going to be a match.
Like, we got that bitch in the South to deal with.
Yeah, exactly.
One person that's colder than a Night King.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it started snowing down there. It had nothing to fucking do with him.
No, it was
the
just
long winter
her.
was just her. Anyway.
Oh God.
Oh well.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting week.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I will watch the rest of it. I'm going to watch the match.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna do the back cap. We'll back cap.
Yeah,
it's going to be later. But, we'll definitely go over what happened, and, we'll catch the end of the match, unless it gets, sometimes they get out of hand, too.
Yeah.
You never know with these things. I mean, 8:15, it could be over in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we will be ready for whatever happens on Sunday.
Yes.
After that, to talk, where we think stage playoffs are going to go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but this match, we'll talk a couple minutes about this match, because it's the match that matters for the week.
It really is.
It's the win or you're in. It's the only one that's win or you're in, without the 4-0 this and 4-0 that. So, Seoul and Hangzhou are having a really good stage.
Yeah, both these teams have been playing out of their minds.
Yeah. Last weekend, Seoul kind of did the opposite of what Dallas did as far as their matches go.
Right.
But they still looked really good.
Yeah. But then Hangzhou, I mean, they've turned into a completely different team than they were to end last stage.
Yeah.
Like, they are at the complete opposite end of the spectrum of where they were last stage at this point.
Yeah, they are definitely riding a positive wave, and they look really good. They beat Chengdu.
Yep. Which,
that's one of those we talked about. Nobody thought they were going to beat them, really, because Chengdu's been playing better.
Right. And then, I mean, this is a battle of two teams who have really changed their starting rosters quite a bit to be in this position as well. So I think that really kind of brings some intrigue to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think for both teams, I don't think they need to go back to
No,
we'll talk about this might be talking about this in the break. About what does Seoul do with Fisher? What does Seoul do with Fleta?
Yeah.
I mean, Hangzhou, what do they do with the guys that they're not using anymore?
Right.
There's a lot of teams that are going to have the stuff.
Both of these teams have some good players that are sitting on the bench, and you got to figure out what they're going to do with them, because right now those bench players are not doing anything for them, because they seem to have found the rosters that work for them.
In this meta and blah, 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 all that stuff that, we constantly talk about. But I think this is definitely not going to be a one-sider.
No, this is, I fully expect this to go to 5. Yeah. Honestly.
Well, the one good thing is Game of Thrones will probably be on when our least favorite map is on, so that's fantastic. That would be Blizzard World.
Yes.
But the map pool is, they both play such diverse styles. I mean, at the end of the day, they're playing some form of 3-3, but they do like to play some DPS comps, and the map pool is going to be decent enough for that. Do we want to throw a prediction out? Because we haven't really done any predictions in this stage, because it's been a little weird.
I think the last 3 spots are going to be Dallas, Seoul. I think somehow Hangzhou still...
They can't.
Oh, no, they can't. They're right. Damn it. So it's probably going to be Hangzhou, or Dallas, Seoul, Shanghai. Is my guess.
I'm kind of with you on that one. I would love to see Chengdu in there, but I also want to see Shanghai in there more than Chengdu.
I think Shanghai really, this is like the completion of their redemption arc, basically.
Yeah. What better way to do it than have to play teams like they have to beat teams that were them last year.
Yeah.
And then go in and play some of the old teams in the playoffs that beat on them last year. I think, even though it's a completely different team, I think it'd be fantastic if they're in there. They get to play New York or whatever, and make the redemption arc keep going.
Yeah.
Chengdu, I just want to see in there because, I want to see what the fuck happens with that.
Yeah, right.
But I'm with you. The 3 teams, I'm definitely going Hangzhou, Dallas, and Shanghai.
Oh, you're
not Hangzhou. I meant Seoul. Seoul is just. I wouldn't be surprised if Hangzhou got in.
Right.
I'm not going there, but I want Seoul to go in.
But I think with the way that Seoul is playing, especially with the reemergence of Rouge Hong, and just the way that this roster is playing together now, I think that they've taken a step.
Yeah. And with the way they've been playing with Marvel instead of Fissure has been, it's not flash, it's not crazy aggro stuff,
but it's
win.
Exactly.
It's W's.
Yep.
And map wins and full match wins. And that's what they needed. And Fitz looks good. Unfortunately, he's in for Fleta.
Right.
Which, like I said, who knows what's going to happen down the road. I mean, you might see the end of, some of that stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out. But we'll definitely get more into that
in the break.
During the break, because it's going to be a pretty long break.
Yeah.
We got,
a month.
We got nearly a month off.
Yeah.
Between these. I mean, we got the stage playoffs and the...
That's 1 week, and then I think...
And then we got the All-Star game. But, yeah, it's like stage playoffs, a week off... All-Star, week off, and then it starts again.
I believe Stage 3 starts June 6th.
Yes.
So, I mean, that would be
most of the month of May is going to be...
It's going to be an off month.
Yeah.
So, which is fine. They needed it last year.
Yeah.
And they, we just had it was just straight through.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how this works, and I think it'll work good. And it also gives times for teams who might be in that middle...
To make some moves.
Hey, maybe we can trade for Fleta. Toronto.
Yeah. Maybe we can get Fissure.
Yeah. Maybe they trade for Fleta and Fissure.
Yeah.
Or, Toronto gets Fleta and Fissure with Envy and the rest of that lineup. You don't Envy and Ivy.
Yeah. I mean, that could be a really dangerous roster.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying that they're going to do that.
Right, but it's a good
going by their past track record. This fucking game that means everything. They're going to have Fleta and Fissure in there.
Right.
But
no kidding.
That's just wincing from the past.
Yeah.
Like
flashbacks.
And on May Tank, Rouge
Jesus.
I just think there's going to be a lot of stuff, and the break is going to be long, and we'll be doing stuff, and we're in talks with the other podcasters. Well, we really haven't. We discussed it at the end of the last one. We might be doing another podcaster roundtable, which was absolutely fun. I hope you guys like that too.
Yeah.
Because I had so much fun talking to all these other guys that do such great stuff.
Yeah,
and
for
just,
sure.
And it could expand into other, with more podcasters that we know that weren't available too.
Right.
So, I mean, there's all that stuff going on. So that's going to do for this one, guys. And we hope you enjoyed our little math session. I hope your brains don't hurt after that because, especially talking about Chengdu and a couple of the other teams. But anyway, if you guys are watching on YouTube, thanks a lot for all of your views and all that good stuff. If you're new, please hit a like, hit a subscribe. And if you've been around, thank you very much for all of your support. Anyone that's listening out there in podcast land in any form, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, whatever your podcatcher is, thanks a lot. And definitely hit a rating on whichever site you're on. And then, so as we said, we're going to be diving into after the matches on Sunday and after, certain important things are done. We'll be on stream. We will be
doing our back cap, Sunday night back cap.
It will be back, so get ready for that, and we'll get you ready for the stage playoff weekend. But other than that, guys, we're gonna head out. You guys have a great week and enjoy the matches, and we will talk to you later.
Catch you guys on the next one. Later.